Hello everyone, John from Wise Crypto here. Wise Crypto is the video arm of Crypto Financial World, and we're here to bring you the latest news for crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse. Today I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about Tornado Cash and what's going on with those guys. So for those of you who don't know, Tornado Cash is a crypto mixing service where a bunch of people send their crypto that they don't want to be tracked, and it gets blended together. And then on the other side, it gets allocated in the amounts that were sent in by the individuals, but the connection is now broken between sender and receiver. So people can no longer track it. It's fantastic for privacy. We live in a free democratic society, and we have the right to privacy in our finances, and no one has the right to take that away from us without due process of law, with some sort of warrant or reasonable suspicion. And that's very important. That protects us from the government arbitrarily going after people and just taking them down. So what has happened is the US Treasury Department has put actions against Tornado Cash and essentially embargoed it. And at the same time, they've banned all wallets that are associated with Tornado Cash. Sounds simple, sounds fine, right? Well, the problem is someone started salting wallets. And what that means is sending small amounts of crypto from Tornado Cash to influential people's crypto wallets, essentially implicating them in all the trouble that Tornado Cash is in. These people are innocent and they have nothing to do with Tornado Cash. They are simply victims of receiving money which they could not decline if they wanted to. There is not there's nothing that prevents someone from sending money to someone else, but it seems to have implicated them, and it's a big problem. Computer programming is what is at risk here. The U.S. Treasury Department has essentially banned a program, and that is a very, very dangerous slope. Programming is protected under the Constitution, under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. It has been defended in a case called Tinker versus Des Moines, where the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the decision that what it says specifically is the court, after discussing the scope of the First Amendment's protection for speech, particularly for scientific writings, goes on. Computer programs are not exempt from the category of First Amendment speech simply because their instructions require the use of a computer. So a program is essentially a recipe, and recipes are not exempt from free speech. Once you start doing that, it gives a lot of power to restrict and subjugate people. The whole purpose of crypto is for financial autonomy, for you to be able to take complete control of your finances outside of the scope of traditional legacy finance and corporate banks. I believe everybody has the right to this. Howard Hughes fought the U.S. government for the right to fly over America, and had he not done that, the U.S. government would have complete control. But no government has control over the skies. They may have jurisdiction over their own airspace, but the sky is for everyone. And by the same token, crypto really dropped the ball, in my opinion, when the SEC first started meddling. To me, in my personal opinion, the internet is not jurisdictional, and no one has the right to ban it in any portion to any degree. I think that just like the sky, it belongs to all of us, and it must remain free, or we just go down that slope of communism and socialism, where the government's going to decide what information you need. They're going to decide what kind of money you can have. And that's not a road that we want to go down on as a free people. If that's what everybody wants, that's great. Well, let's call it what it is. And we're socialists now. But we're not. We're a democratic society, and we're free people. So this is against the law what they're doing. The Supreme Court has upheld that, and it's our responsibility to fight it. Governments, as they get larger, become self-serving. Historically, that's how it works. I was talking to a history PhD, and he said, governments become totalitarian, and then people revolt, and then there is no government. And then people realize, well, we need some government. So they put some government in place, and over time it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually there's another revolution, and then there's no government, and it starts all over again. But that is the nature of government in and of itself. The reason that we have the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment, is to protect our First Amendment rights, so that it's not a suggestion. But I digress. So I guess the point of this video is that we really need to wrap our heads around the fact that the burden of transparent transactions does not fall upon a free people. We, as free individuals, free citizens of the United States, we have the right to privacy. Now, we often choose to relinquish that right with social media. It's a trade-off. In order to connect with our fellow man online, sometimes we will trade a certain amount of anonymity and a certain amount of privacy in an effort to connect with one another. It's a part of who we are as humans. But the fact that we choose to relinquish some of our privacy in an effort to connect with other humans does not mean we're relinquishing our rights to privacy in general. And we have to protect those rights. Just like a woman has the right to be with a man one day and another day not. That is her right. You can't say, well, I had this right yesterday. I certainly have this right today, whether you like it or not. It's a very similar sort of scenario. So I just hope that the takeaway message here today is that we really need to bring some actions against this for those who agree with me and believe that it is an illegal action where they are suppressing the First Amendment freedom of speech. The whole idea of sequestering this protocol is nuts, to be frank. First of all, what they're suppressing is a smart contract. And all someone has to do is copy it, change it a little bit, and get it posted. And then people will be going to that platform. And then when they ban that one, then they'll do 30 more. And then there'll be thousands of variations of it, which the government can't possibly suppress and ban them all. And it would be an enormous waste of resources. It's not feasible. It's not practical. Logistically, it's just impossible to do. And where do they go from there? What they're trying to ban is crypto. What they're trying to ban is the freedom for people to have an alternative to fiat. And we should have an alternative. We shouldn't just accept, well, the government is offering this, and this is what we're going to take. A lot's at stake here, and I think we need to take it very seriously. That's about all I have to say on it right now. I apologize for the video quality. These are our first few videos. As you can see behind me, our computer is still all torn apart. We're waiting for some parts today. Very excited to get our GPU mounted on the outside just to be different. And we have some pretty cool equipment that we're ready to implement. And we'll add some video magic, and hopefully at some point you guys will get some really gnarly videos out of it. And all right, guys. Well, Thank you so much.